Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of the Cover Two podcast. As always, I'm your host Lawson Turner, and we had a off Friday, Saturday, Sunday, but we're back. Let's dive on into the first thing that I wanted to go over. There's gonna be two videos today. One going over the Trevor Lawrence contract extension that I'm about to go over right now, and then Game 4 of the NBA Finals that will be coming out a little later this afternoon. So let's start with Trevor Lawrence. I thought that this was a no-brainer for the Jacksonville Jaguars. They drafted him number one, and they were a poverty franchise before he arrived. They, for their history of good players and relevancy, you have your one-off year, your 2018 year where they were the best defense in the NFL, top three in sacks. They were fantastic, and they make an AFC Championship game. But we know in the NFL you can only go so far with mid-level to mediocre play at quarterback, which is why when the second that there were rumors and rumblings over the interweb and Twitter and social media that Trevor Lawrence is about to get paid and the Jags are willing to offer him a big contract, I'm like, well, no, it's this most simplest thing you can do. You draft your guy and then you pay him and you lock him up long term so that he is there for, the duration of his career. And you pay him for what he is and what he will be. Now, if you just look at pure numbers and record wise, like last year it was an average to below average year when it comes to a player of Trevor Lawrence caliber. We know he's big, strong, athletic. He can make many of your big time throws, and his numbers weren't up there with a lot of his, contemporaries when it comes to, a Mahomes, a Burrow, and Allen. Well, Burrow last year, was ding for a handful of games, but you know what I'm saying. So, like, he went 8-8 in the games he played, just a little over 4,000 yards, 21 TDs, 14 picks. My biggest thing for Trevor is his turnovers, not interceptions, fumbles. It seems as if there are a lot of times when the Jags are driving and he'll get in the red zone and he'll try and make that one extra Superman play, or he just loses the ball in the pocket. And sometimes there's nothing you can do. It's just, oh, D lineman got you from the backside. But like for a career like his record is 20-30. Now that was rookie season in which they were, a very bad team, but you saw some explosions. You saw glimpses and flashes to, okay, they might have something cooking in the future. And then last year they go out and they get Calvin Ridley the year before when he's suspended. And so he comes in with Jacksonville last year. In week one, they looked like that was a top, quarterback receiver connection that could be. It looked like they were just on pace, and then for whatever reason, as the year grew on, whether it be Trevor Lawrence's injuries, the injuries he played through, or just him and Calvin not being on the same page, it didn't work out, and Calvin Ridley ended up leaving and going to Tennessee. But you look at what's the big thing about this contract? It's the number. 5 years, 275. That's 55 million per year. 200 million of it guaranteed. Now, why is it a gaudy number? Because this ties him with Joe Burrow as the highest paid player in the NFL at average at $55 million a year. It's Trevor Lawrence, then it's Joe Burrow, the tied top two dogs. Jared Goff got paid. He's making 53. Herbert, who's his contemporary, they're not going to be locked, but they're around the same age, and they're both young quarterbacks that are on the rise. And so you're getting paid more than Goff, a Super Bowl appearance and an NFC Championship game last year. You're getting paid more than Herbert, who on the rise. We love Justin Herbert. We love what he is and what he can be. He has the big arm. He's mobile enough. We'll see how Jim John. I want to say John. Jim John. They're basically the same guy. They are philosophically they're same but different. They're brothers, so they damn near look the exact same. Very, easy to be to get confused. So let's keep it rolling. I mentioned to see how Herbert grows under Jim Harbaugh. Then then you're jumping players like Lamar Jackson, two-time MVP. Jalen Hurts, Super Bowl appearance, and could have won MVP a couple years ago when he took his team to the Super Bowl. Kyler, you know, Kyler is what he is. He's an undersized, crazy athlete with a beautiful arm. Deshaun Watson, we'll see how he bounces back this year. Kirk Cousins, a above average quarterback for everyone that loves and or hates Kirk Cousins. You can't deny he's a good quarterback, and you're making $10 million more than Patrick Mahomes on average. So you don't leave the Jags. There's still room for them to grow and get a piece or two to this roster, but like it was a down year last year and you missed the playoffs. And now you lose your number one receiver, not in stats but in name. I like Christian Kirk. I do. I think he's a really good receiver, but he's being overpaid. So the Jags are kind of in a did they have to extend Trevor Lawrence? Absolutely. But at $55 million a year, I would have been fine, around the Herbert Jack number. Now 3 mil in the grand scheme of things, it's not that big of a deal, and I understand that in the pantheon of the recent NFL, it's been whoever's up next is highest paid. So there are now reports that Dak Prescott wants $60 million. That's a whole nother conversation and something I'll address at a later video. Is Dak worth 60 million? That's a you can ask. It doesn't hurt to ask. The worst they can do is say no. But that's all I have for this video and my thoughts on the Trevor Lawrence situation. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to check us out on Twitter at the Cover2Pod26. Link is in the description to make it a little bit easier to find. Thank you so much for watching as always. I'm Lawson Turner for the Cover 2 podcast, and I will talk to you guys in the next one. Peace.